Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's episode, we are going to put together a wood model from JOINCON. Haven't seen this company, but I know of JOINCO. I think I've built a couple of things from them. This is a chordmovement wooden piano. And it looks like they actually, you hit the keys and actually play some sounds and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, it's not too bad. Somebody is awake again. So doesn't really have too many pieces. It looks like it has a lot of small pieces. So and a butt and everything. So but doesn't look too bad. But I think the mechanic or the electronics and some certain parts may be a little difficult or time consuming just to make sure we get it right. Here's all the battery and the sound and the speaker, and looks like a little electronic board and everything. And then here's some other pieces that goes along with it, which are going to be fun. Little plastic piece that we'll be using, and then the instructions that somebody wants. They're actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's all in color, and looks like they're pretty descriptive. As you're going through, and definitely tasty because somebody wants to eat it as well. So yeah, we'll see how this is. I mean, this was a Christmas present from the fam. I figured I'd just give it a shot and see how it is, and definitely probably one of the first ones I don't have to worry about staining or painting because it actually looks like it's already stained for me, so I really don't have to do too much to it. As always, please like, share, subscribe, leave comments, hit that notification bell, and we'll get back to you, and we will get started. So first off, looks like we're going to be doing our piano legs. So I already built a couple of them. You needed 3 of these, so I went ahead and did those. So now I'm just going to show you how you put it together. So you want to grab your G2, then you want to get the non-decorative side and get your G3s. You should have 3 of them, and just put them in a hole right here, and you can use the edges here to push them in. And then after that, then you're going to grab your G4 on the decorative. They're both decorative, but make sure the hooks are facing to the right, and then just place this on top. It'll fit just right on there. It won't be tight or anything. It goes over the tabs, and then grab another G2 with the decorative side, and then just put it right back on the tabs, push them in, and there you go. So that way it's got decorative on both sides. But that's how that's how your 3 pieces go together. And then, which I already kind of did this one a little bit because it was the exact same thing. You grab your H2, which is this back piece. You want to get the non-decorative side, and then you're going to use 2 of the G3s, put them in, and then you're going to get your H1 and make sure the top is the opening is facing to the left, and then grab your H3, which has the holes on the bottom, and then what you're going to do is put these feet on the bottom right here, and I would just be kind of careful putting these in so they don't snap off or anything. So just kind of hold it close to the edge of putting them in. And I think they give you like 1 spare, so just got to be careful with it, and then just kind of work with them to line them up. I don't think they got to be perfectly straight, but just as long as it's they're all at least the same angle. Okay, so you're gonna get your speaker, which looks like this, and then what they want you to do is get your P17, which is these 2 little long tabs, or like sticky, like double-sided tape, and they want you to peel them off, and then glue or stick them. Let's see here. Trying to see how it's. I guess it really don't matter. But I'll do it how the picture shows. So it has the wires just hanging off on the side here. So you're going to have it to where, yep, to where it's about halfway onto the sticker. Kind of like that. And do the same thing. Oops. Just make sure it's about half, or you could probably go more than half, but at least just make sure it's sticking to that. And then what you're going to do is get some scissors, which I would grab probably some smaller ones. And what they want you to do is cut around the edges. But I already kind of pulled the paper off the back edge, so I'm going to pull this out a little bit more just so I don't have to try to find the edge again, because it was a pain in the butt, because this tape is a little hard to manage. So I'm just gonna have it go down and then just kind of fold it, cut pretty much around the edge and cut off the excess, which I don't know how this is going to work with the, oh, it actually cuts pretty easy. Just kind of sticks to the scissors. Just be careful not to cut the speaker. Just stay as close to the edge as you can. Just go all the way around till you get to the edge. That's kind of what it should look like on the other side. You have the double-sided tape right there. Okay, and for now we'll just leave the paper on. And then you're going to grab your H10, which is this big old honking thing. And then you're going to grab 8 of your D4s that look like this. And you're going to just go around the circle and just put them in, which I already put some of them in. So you just line them up and then just push them down. Just goes in. And then you just put them all in until all 8 are in, like so. And then it talks about if you're going to use the battery compartment to run the sound, then you knock out this piece that's right here, because when it comes in, this piece is actually inside, or actually attached. And then there's a piece right here that's attached for the USB. So they're saying if you want to use the battery, then go ahead and take this piece off and leave the USB in. But if you're going to use a USB power supply to run it, then go ahead and leave this piece in and then take this piece out. Okay, so now you're going to grab your battery compartments, and then what you're going to do is run the wire up the hole here, and then what you want to do is grab 4 of your P7 screws, which are the bigger, make sure, yeah, P7 screws. You have 2 sizes. There are some that are bigger, and then there's some that are really small. So on this one, you want to grab the bigger size screws. And then I just want to put them in. And then get the screwdriver that comes with it, comes with the model. And then just go ahead and start putting it in. You don't have to go, I wouldn't tighten them all completely until you get them all in, because you want to make sure it all semi-fits. Okay, once you get all 4 screws in, just screw it all down until it's flush. with the wood. Not too tight or anything, but just make sure it's flush. And then now you're going to grab your speaker, and then you're going to peel off the paper from the sticker. And then you're going to make sure that you have this correctly, because it's probably not going to be easy to peel this back off. And it looks like the wire, I'm just going to put it right on top of that. Okay. And then just push it down. So yeah, so it's fine just to have it go right on top of the D4, because it's up higher, so it'll go right over it. So we're going to be putting our legs on, so you want to grab your what are these? You're going to grab your G4 legs, the first legs that we built. And then grab your H10. And then you are going to put them right here onto, like right here. And hook them in, push them toward the back. Do the same for over here. Make sure that you push to the front, then you have the hooks. You want to go this way. So you put those in, and I just dropped that. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so now you got your H7 right here, and that will go, place it right on top of the feet, making sure they're slid all the way. I know, it fell off again. Make sure the feet are slid all the way. Yep, okay. Make sure, hang on. And then you got two H6s that you want to make sure they get put on like so. Okay. Put this one on. Okay. So you don't push the feet in any direction. You just put the feet in, and then with the feet all the way down on the bottom, then you push your H7 all the way down, and then you slide the feet forward to catch on this. Push these in all the way. Hang on a second. Okay, so just push them in, and then just push them down, and then push these down. With the feet all the way up, the feet won't move, but you got your H6s and 7s, those can move back and forth. But you want them down all the way. Yep. You want these down all the way, and you want this one pushed all the way this way. Now you're going to grab some H9s, which are these right here. They're H5s. You have 9 of them, and there's going to be 3 that go to each one of these, and they're going to fit into each one of these holes. I put this one in backwards, so the hooks actually have to be facing that direction. I put them in backwards. I was wondering why it wasn't looking right. So if you look, you should see all openings looking down each of the grooves. When you push these in the direction they need to be, you should see all openings going all the way through your H10. Okay, so now you get your H5s, and you should have 3 that go into each one, and it'll go down into those grooves. Some of them may be easy to fit. Some of them may just kind of fit in there pretty not too tight. So you may need to glue them. Okay, so that's how everything should look. And when you do that, now you want to grab your other foot that we worked with the 3 little feet at the bottom. And then you want to kind of get this out of the way. You want to make sure that the the feet are facing, pretty much facing you as you're putting this in, and have it go all the way up. Okay, just kind of push it up. It says to push this in place and then push it to the right to lock it in place. Put H9 on and then push it to the, put H9 on and then push it all the way to the right. And then it talks about using glue, but I don't see why, because you have H8, which is this right here, and you're putting this down into here to lock it in. So I don't know why you'd put glue into it, because this thing isn't going to go anywhere with the H8 in there. To kind of bend the cord back on itself, and then grab your F13, and then just put it down into here to hold the cord in place. There we go. And it just talks about just pulling the cord in and just to kind of wrap it back on itself. And maybe that's just to hold it in place so it doesn't get in the way while you're putting everything else in together. You're going to grab your C3 and then grab your D10 and make sure the tab is facing to the rear, just like your C3 is. Put that in. Then grab your C4 and put it on, making sure that the holes are facing toward the rear. Make sure they both are matching. Just kind of space it apart. Then you want to grab your C2. Somebody's in the way. Somebody's in the way. Hey, baby. Sorry. Yeah, your C2. And then you're going to place it right on here. Just match all 3 tabs. And then just try to line it up as best you can to where it should just pop right on. Just be careful pushing on things. I all know how that goes. Okay, and then once you do that, then grab your C1, and then place it right here, and make sure the tabs are spaced out enough, and then push that down, and then push that down, and there you go. And then you just push them in on either side, and I'm sure you can hear the purring. Push them in on either side, and then that's how this, I think number 14, I think they'll label each key a certain step. So this is step 14, and you want to do 6 of them, because I think these are going to be the spacers in between the keys. So this is your step 14. You want to have 6 of them. There. Just going to put them there. So you want to grab your D6, and then grab your D6, and then grab your 2 D5s and pop them in right here. Just put them side by side. Okay, and just push them down all the way. If you need to kind of push them to the side a little bit to line it up, that's fine. Okay, and then you want to grab your D11, push it down all the way. Make sure the tab's facing to the rear. And then you're going to grab your D12, non-decorative side, facing in. Put it on. You get your 11 and 12 on there. And then you want to grab your C7, which is this right here. And just put it on the front. Make sure everything lines up. And then grab your C8. And then just make sure it lines up with the 2 tabs on the front. And just push it down. And if the tabs don't look like they're fitting, then just kind of pop them out a little. And so that's how this one looks. And so again, this is step 15. So there's your 3 of those. You want to grab your C10. like this, and then grab your C9. It's like this, and put it, let's see here. Yeah, push it down right here. And then your C14. Again, always the holes in the back. C14 right here. Okay, and then D12 again. You'll see some of the same pieces for each of these keys. And again, grab your C7 again. Line them up. Push it on. And then grab your C8. Oh, hang on a second. C7. Then grab your C11. And line up each 4 of the tabs that you have here. Just make sure they're kind of gently pushed down to make sure it's fitting. And then, oh, that one's, yeah, there we go. And then afterwards, you can just kind of push them in just to make sure everything's fitting the way it's supposed to. Okay, and then you got 2 of these. Your C16. Grab your 17. C17. Okay, so you got your 17. Grab your C14. That's right next to it. Okay. The D12 with the decorative facing out. Okay. 17, so D12. Okay, so now C7 again. Put that on. Okay. And then your C18. Just like before, just line up the tabs with the holes. And if they don't fit, then just kind of move everything to the places where they need to fit. Okay, so here's your 17. Okay, so there's only one of those. C10. And you'll grab your C15. Go into the hose here. Ouch. Okay, and then grab your D11. Go onto here. Okay. C13 will go onto here. Now grab your C7 again. It's like a theme. Just make sure it's lined up. Okay. And then grab your C12. Just like before, just line up all the tabs and the holes. Make sure they are good. Okay. So just push everything in, make sure it's nice and solid. Okay. So there's your 2 step 18s. Okay. Oh, let me line these up a little bit here. So here's your 14s. Here's your 15s. Here's your 16s. Your 17 and your 18s. Okay, so now what you're going to grab is your P12, which is your metal rod. You're going to grab your P15, which is the plastic sleeves that go on the very end. And these are the ones that come in the bag. They're a little thicker. And then you want to put it on the end of the rod and then just push it down. You can push it onto like a metal surface just to make sure it's flush. And then what you also want to do is on your I2. These are thinner sleeves. And when you peel these off, there's a plastic film on both sides. that you're going to have to peel off each of these circles or the sleeves. This has got film, and then you look at this one right here, and it's pretty much clear. So, and just kind of cut off any excess when you break these off. Kind of, use the sandpaper to kind of smooth them a little bit, or use some little pliers to cut off any excess. Okay, so you're going to start with your 16. 14, 15. Start with your 16. Put them in the hole. Actually, yeah. I'll push this in just a little bit. So you start with your 16, and then you grab an I2 to slide it down to separate. And then you want to grab a 14. Let's see how, yeah. A 14. Like that. And then another I2. It's just easier to tilt it down just so everything slides. And then you want a 15. 14, 15. And it goes into here. And then another I2. And then another 14. And then an I2. So pretty much an I2 after you put on anything. And then do an 18, which is right here. Okay. And then I2. Okay. And then grab another 16. Grab 16. And then I2. And then 14. And then I2. And then 15. And I2. And then 14. I2. Then another 15. I2. Okay, you get your two 15s and then a 14. Say almost done. And then your 18. And I2. And then your 17. Then your last I2. I think you used like 7 to 9 of them. And then your 14. And then you want to grab a P15 to put on the end to hold everything together. Just kind of moving it all down to, there we go. Try to make it even. Okay, so, okay. And then just as long as the rod, you get the same amount of distance on either side of the P15, then, just push them together. And if one's a little off, you can always kind of push it down, I guess. There. So the first steps 21 through 26, it talks about they wanted you to glue two pieces of gears together that match exactly the same. The only issue that you need to make sure of, which I didn't catch until after I tried to glue the first one, because I just put glue down, thinking that no matter how I put both designs, it was going to match up, no matter which way I put it. But that's incorrect. So, because as you see, the design is the same. Well, here, let me grab the big one so you can kind of see. So you see, the design on this one matches the design on this one. It's just two different gears. But the best thing I found to do after I did the first one is to get both of them and try to line them up. Try to line up this design and see if the gears back here are showing or not, because you're going to find out that there's really only one way this is going to fit together, to where the gears line up and the detail actually lines up. And you can see this one's off just by a little, but if I try to line up the design in any other way, it actually will be worse, where you'll see the gears for each you'll see the pegs for each gear more spread out than what you see right here. So this is actually one of the worst ones out of all the gears that are here. But the best thing is just to get the bottom gear and get the top one, and then you just line up the design and see if everything fits. If it doesn't, then just rotate it to the next design and see how that fits, and then just keep going around until you find a design where it lines up for both designs and the pegs. And then once you figure that out, then put the glue down and then attach it, and then make sure you press it down and make sure you don't see any of the back gear design or before you put the glue on. So, and again, just make sure you keep them in order. So it should be 21 through 26, and then these two extras are needed for steps later on, which I'll get to when we get to that step. And now you're going to use some of your, you got your couple metal rods, the big ones and the small ones, and there's only two sizes. And the bigger ones are your P13s, and the smaller ones are your P14s. Now in the instructions, it talks about for step 27 to do 4 of these, but I only had 3 of the smaller metal rods, so I'm pretty sure that's only going to be 3. And then you're going to need 2 of your P15s for each of one of those. So what we're going to do is line these up. So I would just push it straight down, and these the sleeves actually go on pretty easy. Just kind of push it down and just make sure it's flush. 2 and 3. Okay. So there's your 3 of those. 27. Okay, so now you want to get your long one. One of your long ones, your P13. And you're going to put 2 sleeves on it. Again, just kind of push it down, push it up, and then push it down. There's that one, and then you want to get your last P13, and you want to get 3 of the sleeves. And then just repeat the process. So there's your 27, 28, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so now you're going to grab your E3, which is this right here, and then you're going to flip it over, and you see all the holes that you're going to be putting these rods into. So you're going to grab your 3 27s, which are your smaller ones. Line this up. Okay, so it looks like one goes into here, and then one goes up here, and then one goes right there. And then if you flip it over while you're holding them, then then you should have one up here and then 2 down here. Try to put this on a flat surface, because I think we're going to be putting some things on top of this. 24. Okay, so you're going to grab this one. Oh, and also for these, they wanted you to put wax on all the edges for each one of these, all the way around. So I went ahead and just used the wax that was included, and then just went around each of the tabs, and you just put wax on both sides, switching it around. So just make sure you have enough wax all the way around each of these gears. Okay, so 24 is going to go onto this one. Okay, so you're going to grab an I2, which is, remember, your smaller sleeve. And that's going to go onto here. And then you're going to grab your C5, C5, which is this right here. And it's going to get put onto there. And then 21, which is your first one, and then that's going to go onto here. Just make sure they kind of somewhat lock teeth together. And then you're going to grab 3 P15s, a P15, and put them on top of each one of these, and just push it all the way down. And then, is it over through? Yep, so for all 3 of them, P15. And having this on a flat surface definitely helps. And this one goes to here. And that all the way down. Okay. Here it is. I'm just going to throw some glue onto the rod itself. Not too much. I'm just going to just a little bit, and I'm just going to just push this down. And just try to maybe bring it up a little higher. Oh, or just take it off completely. And I'm just going to throw a little dab right here. And again, you can just do this before you put these on, and then just slide it on down. Oh, it is going to catch on that. Maybe you want that. I don't know if it matters if the glue is, if the sleeve is glued to the metal rod and to the gear or not. I mean, they're both going to spin, so maybe it won't matter, but they definitely want the sleeve to be glued to that. Should have those 3 in place. Now we're going to flip them back over like so, and then now you're going to get your... Oh, it did ask for another one, did I? Oh. So what they did, they gave me an extra longer piece and not the smaller one. So there was supposed to be 4. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut this down. I'm going to have to cut this down to the smaller piece. Measure, and then I'm going to mark it. Yep. Okay, mark it, and then I'm going to cut that right there. I don't think pliers will work. I don't think I have that strong of pliers, but if you have some really good pliers that'll cut, you can use that, or jigsaw will probably work. Metal blade. So, but I'm going to cut that, and then I will be right back. So I cut down my bigger metal rod down to the smaller size. Got it fixed with 2 plastic sleeves, just like it showed. So there is actually 4 of the smaller of the 27s that you need. So they just sent me an extra one for that. Okay. So now, as we did before, so we did that, and now, so that 27 will go up here at the top. I can get it into the hole here. There we go. 27 into there. I know. And then the 2, your 28 with the 2 sleeves will go here. And then your 29 with the 3 sleeves will go on this top one. Okay, so then you want to flip those around. Make sure those don't fall out. Okay. Now, okay, so you want to grab another I2, your smaller sleeve, and it'll go right here. And then you want to grab 2 more of your P15s. And you want to put one on this one. if I can. Try to get this on here. Put that on that one. P15 on is this one. We want to grab our 23. And then that one will go here. That one will go there. 22 will go right here. Just try to lock it into the other pieces. Okay. And then 25, which is this one, will go up here and lock that one in. Okay, so a sleeve on this one. Push it all the way down. And then a sleeve on this one. And a sleeve on this one. It's not asking them to glue them yet, but I'm just kind of playing with it here to see how it's turning. The more you move the gears around, the wax will take effect and it'll move a little smoother. Grab your P5, and then this is going to go right here, and then put another P15 right on top of it. Okay. Yeah, everything seems to be moving pretty good right now. So now they want you to turn it over, make sure that the metal rods are flush with the sleeves. Okay. And then they want you to grab your P4, grab your motor and two of your bigger screws, the P7s. And they want you to put this into here. So it's wanting, looking at the picture, it looks like the wire is supposed to be on this side, but if the metal part of the motor right here is supposed to go into the hole, it doesn't fit. So the only way it fits is by putting it with the wire on the opposite side. So that's what I'm going to have to do. Just get it started for now, and come over here and do this other side. Then just tighten it down. To where it won't go down anymore. There we go. Yeah, hopefully this wire is okay with it being right there. It's going to have to go like that maybe. I don't know. And then it's saying it's wanting you to do like we did on the other side, where it wants us to glue the sleeves to the metal rods, which I may just do the top one because I don't want to glue the bottom ones onto it, because I don't want it to be glued to the cardboard. Okay. And then we'll put this one back on. And then just put all your top ones back on. Okay. Yeah, so everything looks flush. Yeah. And just push it all down. Oh yeah, because it's got the I2 on it. Okay. So this is how it should look on it underneath, with the top sleeves glued down to the rods. And you got your motor in place. Hopefully this is okay. And then the other side, you got all your gears in except for one. 26 was the only one we didn't use yet. And then again, just kind of move the gears around just to make sure the wax gets spread evenly, and that the rough edges of the teeth kind of get worn down a little, so it makes it easy to move around. So first thing we want to do is get our C21 and C22 and glue these together just like we did our other ones. It's 2 layers of gears. Just make sure they line up. Before you put the glue down, make sure you don't see any of the teeth, and then go ahead and glue it down. And then when you do that, then they want you to put it on top of this piece right here. However, this is like way loose, and it doesn't tell you to glue it down to this, but I'm going to say to glue it down to this, because I don't think, and with these gears, these next gears after step 39, I don't think you need to wax them, because to me, I don't think they're going to be in contact with any other gears. So I think you're okay with not waxing these next gears after step 29. But for this one, I would definitely say to glue it. And I'm not going to worry about gluing it to the sleeve. I'm just going to glue it to that. But again, I'm going to make sure everything is lined up the way it should be, or at least as close as it should be. Just kind of press it down. Okay. You're getting your E4, which is like a little note, and then you're putting this on to this right here, just sliding it down, and it's a tight fit, but grabbing your 26 gear that we had from previous step, and we're throwing it on up here at the top. You're getting one of your P15 sleeves, and we're putting it on the note right here to keep this on. And then it wants you, because your C26 gear, as you can see, the hole is a little octagonal or rectangular, and so this is supposed to fit over your motor part here, and you just got to make sure that the teeth connect to the other one over here. And it also talks about gluing it down, so I'm just going to throw a little bit of glue there, and then just slide this in, and just make sure the teeth are connecting with the teeth on this one right here. And then something else that the instructions don't tell you is you need to get a P15 and throw it onto this one right here, because as you're looking through the instructions, which I'll show you, just looking through the instructions, right here, you don't see a sleeve on it. But then if you come down here, it looks like there is a P15 on top of it, and also right here. So to me, I'm going to ensure that this gear doesn't come off. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a P15 on top of this. And maybe I won't need it, but I'm still going to throw it on there just in case. And I think there's going to be a top piece that's going to go on top of this. And if the sleeve is in the way, then I'll take it off. But for right now, I'm going to leave the sleeve on and see how that goes. These next few pieces are just decorative. These gears are not in contact with anything. They're not going to do anything. So then they're just there for decoration. So it looks like they want you just to kind of place it right here. Just kind of press it down, and then get your other gear, and just make sure the teeth are kind of connected some way. They kind of don't fit together, but as long as they're somewhat connected, kind of like that, out of the way, and they're not touching the other gears. And then your next piece is C23, which is right here. I want you to kind of throw it down here on the bottom and as close as possible to the gears right here. But I would just come off of it just a little bit so they don't interact with it, and you can always move the gears around. Oh, I can't now because I've got that one in there. Just kind of twist it and just see if those gears touch that one. And if it doesn't, then you should be fine. And I don't really think it matters how these go. Just kind of, it talks about maybe just kind of putting it right through here, as long as it's not in the way of the hole. And then just connecting the teeth on this one. Kind of like that. Pressing it down. And so this is how your bottom should look. Whoops. That's how your bottom should look. All of these gears will turn, but these right here will not. They're just decorative. You want to turn it like this, and you want to grab your D2, which is like this. I'm just making sure I have everything right. You want to grab the side that doesn't have the C2 on it facing you with the openings, so you're right. And then it looks like these pop in down at the bottom right here, and then just push them in all the way until it is good to go. Just make sure it's level, and there you go. So it's not too many involved, but somebody else is awake. All right, so you're going to grab your last piece that we just did. You're going to grab a E14 or F14 right here, and then this is going to go up to the top, right up here, just into there. So give it a little stand or something, not for sure. You want to grab your E15, which looks like this. Bring that up just a little bit. It looks like this. And then you'll grab two F9s, which are these, and then place them right here. And there you go. It's decorative on both sides, so it don't matter which way. Don't matter which way you place them in. Okay, and then you're going to grab your F10, and then you're going to put the add tabs into the holes here, which kind of wish I'd had you to do that sooner, but it's all good. Okay, so, and if you look on here, it actually tells you C25 goes here, C24. And if you look, there's a little outline that shows where they go. And so you need to place it, glue them inside of that outline. And I don't know, I really don't know if it's going to cover up that outline or not, but you want to do your best to try to cover it up as much as you can. It's in there, and I'm just going to go ahead and just throw some over here. So you see 25 will go here. And you'll probably know if you picked the wrong one because it won't match the outline. Just pressing it down. Okay. Actually don't look too bad. And then C24. So you got those two pieces on. And then you want to grab your E16, and it's going to go up underneath here, which you got to be careful not to push on the gear you just put in. Okay, so that's in there. Okay, so here's that one. So we'll put that one aside for now. Then you want to grab your E8. Looks like this, except the kitty hair, and grab an E9. And then that will go right here, like that. And then what we're going to do is grab our main unit again. I think it was H10. And then what you want to do is do this one at a time. Grab your E8 and place it up here. So this will go right here. But then the F9, the E9 tab will go into here. But then you also got to look out for the metal rod right there should go into the hole that's right there. So I know it's a lot of moving parts, but it's probably best to do the top or the end down here, then line it up at the bottom, and then also line it up with the tab. Oh, and that actually fit perfectly. Just push that down, push that in. So you definitely need this sleeve on this, on top of the gear, the C26. You definitely need a sleeve on there, because if not, then it would be a gap that this would be bouncing back and forth and everything. So you definitely need that P15 on top of there that the instructions don't tell you to do. So, okay. So now you're going to do the same thing over here. You got 2 holes right there that these 2 tabs are going to go into. And then the tab here is going to go right here. And then you're going to have these 2. Actually, you're going to have 3. You're going to have these 3 metal rods that are going to have to go into these 3 holes. And again, just be careful not to hit the gears that you just put on there, because they're still drying. So I'm going to put the ends in first. Okay. And then I'm going to... Oops, I just touched it. Okay, that's fine. Then I'm going to try to align the metal rods. Grab some pliers, kind of pull them. Okay, here's that one. Got that one. And I think that one just needs to go over just a hair. Okay. Yep, all those are in. And then now I'm just going to push down. Push, make sure that's in. Oh, there we go. Just push that in. Again, the gears are still good. Got your metal rods there, there, there. You got your tab in all the way, I think. Let me see. Yep. Tabs in all the way. The gears are still where they're supposed to be. And the tabs over here on the end are good. Okay. Whew. So there's your pieces for inside of your piano. So it's looking pretty good. We'll see. So you need to get your board out, your P2. That's got all the components and everything on it. And then you need to grab your P11s that are these little square rubber pieces that are going to go on top of this. And what they say is the easiest way to put them on, you want to grab 14 of them, which is pretty much all of them except for one. You just put these into the holes, and since they're like really soft, flexible rubber, you can't push them down all the way. I mean, you probably could, but I didn't really have any luck with it. But then what they said was once you push the legs through the hole, you can turn them around and then pull from the other end, and it'll pull it the rest of the way down to where it's flush. And that's how you want them to be, is flush with the board, like that. But you just do that for each one. Just pull the bottom and you go all the way down. And then the ones that are close to these pillars, just grab some pliers and pull on them slowly through. Don't pull too hard, and then they'll still come through the holes. And there's your D11 or D1. I'm gonna grab this, and looks like, yep. So you want the circle up top, and then this one kind of facing that way, or with this little design to your right. And you want to grab your D9, place it right here. Try not to push on anything that'll break. If you need to grab some pliers, that's totally fine. Okay, then your D8, same thing on the other side. Okay, then you're gonna grab your 2 D7s that look like this, and you're gonna put them in like this with the angled pieces kind of flat. And then we'll go like so. Just make sure they're down all the way and straight. Okay. Straight as can be anyway. All right. And then, okay, so now what they say is they want you to push this in first. Get your board. Push this in first. And then there we go. Push it down and then line up the tabs that you just put in. Should be like right here. And just push them down. They should pop right in. Okay, but all right. And then I would say you could probably take these little tabs off because I think that's where the connectors are going to go into here shortly. So I would just go ahead and take those off. That way that they're open. Okay, so now I'm going to grab your So you're going to grab your D2, get the wire out of the way, and your D1, and this is going to go right on top, like so. Press it down. Okay. So you get your D3s, looks like it goes like this, and you're going to put them into the tab right here, and it's going to lock in right here. Should slide right in. And just pop right in and do the same over here. I'm guessing it's just to kind of lock the pieces together. Okay. It's in there really good. Okay, and then, which is funny that we were talking before about this wire being over here. It actually is better for it to be over here. And it looks like it wants you to connect it to this medium, to the medium hole right here. And you need to make sure that the little tab on top, the little line that's running through the middle on the top right here goes into the hole that it's showing right here. Because if you try to go the other way, it's not going to work. So once you line it up, just kind of push it in and it should go in all the way just like that. Is where the USB, if you're going to use a USB instead of a battery pack, steps 57 through 63 are for those steps if you're using the USB instead of the battery pack, because it says for a battery compartment version, skip steps 57 through 63. However, there are a couple things you're still going to need for those steps, as in A3 and A4, which are the sides that go here. You still need those pieces. Everything else I wouldn't worry about. I would just let those be. I'm going to start at step 61, where it talks about getting A3, which is this, your decorative side. So we're going to put this on this right here, into the holes, and onto the side here. Grab your A4, which is this one, the bigger one, and doing the same for the other side. And it's just these two tabs, and then you got two on the side. Push those in. Push those in. Okay. Yep, they're good. So you got the sides here, you got the sides here. I'm going to connect our bottom section to this. Okay, but first, it's saying to get your speaker wire, and this is actually going to connect to the connector right here, which I'm just looking to see which way it goes. Okay, if you got the small little tab on top, that's going to go into the straight line section, because I can see a hole where it would lock into. So or pretty much the ones where it's got all the silver lines on the bottom, that goes on the bottom. Your other connector, it actually is supposed to be like this. So this one goes into this one here, and again, it's the same. You got your line up top, and so that'll go into the little notch that's showing right there. So I'm trying to show you, but it's holding me. Got those connected. Okay, so once you got all three connected, then finagle the wires, keep them out of the way, and then we're going to connect it, these two openings right here, and these two openings right here, and then tab right here in the back. Gotta push it in, and then get this tab here in the back, pop that in. That one's in there, and that one, there we go. That one's in there. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. It's kind of, man, this is actually going to be pretty big. I know you're looking at those previous steps, and you're like, I think you may have skipped something. You are correct. I forgot to put the keys in. I skipped right over that step. So the keys here, I completely forgot to put these in. So, which is no big deal. We can still get this done. So hopefully you've left edges on either side of the bigger metal rod. The kitty here. So you should have holes on either side of your F3, or A3, A4 right here. And then this should pop right in on one of them. And then the other one, you should be able to just pull it out just a little bit, and it should just go right on in there. It doesn't say to glue this in, but I'm almost tempted to glue it in just so it doesn't pop out, because I just don't want it going back and forth, because I don't think there's really anything that's keeping it from sliding left or right. However, before I do that, it mentions here to go ahead and test everything to see if the sound and the movement and everything works. So what I did, got ahead on the battery pack, insert some batteries, and is it on? Off. Yep. I'm gonna turn it on and see, it just popped out again. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, that's good. Okay. And so is to test everything out is just to hit a key and see what happens. So every time you hit a key, it moves the gears. So that's what yours should do at this point as well. So every time you hit a note, it should move the gears to spin everything around. And the only thing I noticed is the note right here, it always kind of connects with this right here, that you may need to kind of tilt it back a little. And I may work with this a little to maybe keep it propped up a little so it doesn't do that. So yeah, so that's, everything should work, and it looks like everything's working. So I went ahead and put an I2 underneath the note. Took the sleeve off, took the note off, and put an I2 on top of the sleeve that's underneath here, and then put the note back on, and then put this back on, and it's fine. Next pieces are getting your B2 and B3 and gluing these together. So this is your B2, this is your B3, the little outline, which I already did. So you want to glue that together. You want to make sure this circle matches the circle of your B2, that you don't see any edges going around. So just line it up, and then just make sure the bottom is as straight as what you can make it. And then you also want to grab your B1 and B4 and do the exact same thing. It's a little longer, but it's the same. Just make sure the circle is lined up with the detail circle of your B1, yeah, your B1, just so you don't see any edges on that. Just make sure that one's good to go. And then I did skip one. Okay, so you want to get your D13, which is this right here. Put this down and place it like so. Just be careful pushing it down. Just line it in the tabs up with the holes. B2, B3, step 68 right here. I'm gonna try. So I'm not gonna tilt it, but so this is gonna go right on the very first hole that's right here. I'll tilt it a little bit. Very first hole right here. And just push it down. Okay, it actually went in pretty easy. So got that step 68, got it on the side right here. Just put it in that first hole, push it down. Then you want to grab your 69 step, your B1, B4. And we're going to come over here. And we're going to put it in these two holes right here. Nothing on the front, just these two all the way in the back. Just put them in, push them in. Just kind of, oh, there is one on the side here. Just be careful what you push on if you're still waiting for this to dry. I kind of don't want to push on it, but there we go. Since these tabs were locked in, you have to kind of push it back in. There we go. So since there's a tab on the outside and these two on the inside that you just placed this one on, and then when you try to push against it, it pushed it out. So you just may have to get some pliers and just kind of just push it from right here instead of trying to push on it. This is the kind of the part I dread. So you got your F11. It's an accordion. And then we're going to be putting it all along this right here, which I completely hate. So I would put, if you have yours where it has like the little whites on the tabs on the all these bottom ones, I would use this for the bottom, because the top one I don't know if it's going to be going on anything or not, but I know these are going to be covered inside the holes here. So I would just start at one side, don't put it in too far, just a little bit, and then just kind of bend it. Well, bend it to get it into the holes. Just be careful what you push on. You almost have to kind of line it all up to get it the somewhat started, just so you don't stretch it here. There we go. Okay, got that in. Okay, oh, I know. Hang on. Trying to stretch it to get that one in. Apologize if my hand's in the way. Trying to get that in. Turn this to get those in. There we go. Okay. And just push them all down. Just push it on down. I hate these accordion pieces. So that's how it should look. I mean, the only good thing is whatever piece you put on top, all the tabs are already aligned, so it shouldn't be, well, I ain't gonna say too hard, but your G1, which is this right here, and they say to make sure that your F10, that you want to make sure to pass it through this opening right here. Pass it through this opening right here. Yep. So make sure you pass that through there, and then pretty much push tabs down on all the way around. So just gotta make sure it's forward all the way. Start at one end and work your way around just like before. Don't push them all the way down, but just get them started. And then that's off. There we go. That's off. Let's see here. May have to, oh, sorry, my hand's in the way. You may have to, like, push some pieces out. There we go. There we go. Yeah, you may have to use, like, your screwdriver. I use the screwdriver to kind of, like, push in pieces or move stuff around to get everything to fit. But once you get everything to fit, then just push it all down. And just keep kind of pushing it down, just making sure it's all in there good, and it's all good to go. And again, you got your F10, just kind of sitting there. E1, which is like an outline of what you just put down. And then and if you want, you can always throw some glue around the edge just to holds it, and it'll hold all the tabs. Put this right here, because I don't see no other place for it to be held down on. And then if you want, you can always put something heavy on this to hold it down while the glue dries. Doesn't say to glue it down, but there was nothing, once you push these tabs in, there's nothing to hold that to keep it from popping up. So there you go. Not looking too bad. So we definitely don't have that many steps left. Something I figured out was the note with the bar, the metal rod, it actually did pop in to something right here. And I think that's what was causing maybe some of this to not go down on the inside. So I just had to move that into, lock it into the hole right here. So I probably didn't need to put that I2 in there, but it's not going to hurt nothing. Again, it's still, you know, stay as it is. Is our A2, which is this right here. And this is going to go right. So I'm trying not to push on anything on the feet, but just kind of push those in. Right, the keys back down. So I got that on. Now you get your H11, which is this right here. This will go right on top of it. Right here. So not looking too bad on that one. Get your A1. It looks like this. And then this is gonna pop into the edge right here on the front. So you want to make sure that your keys, your brown keys and your white ones are lined up in here. And that one looks like it's fine. This one does not. There we go. Okay. So on this piece here, when that popped out, when we put our A4 in, that popped out. I pushed it back in, but I didn't push it down. I didn't push it down to make sure it was all the way down. So that's why this piece was up a little higher. you have two magnets that are part of this, and it says that it makes it easy if you attach the magnets to the screwdriver. Yeah, because then it makes the whole metal part of this magnetic to be able to handle the smaller screws. So when you're doing that, you can just attach the magnets to just anywhere on here, but more toward the handle. That way it's not all the way down here at the bottom messing with the screws or whatever. So so do that, and then we're going to grab our F12. I1, which is your clear plastic piece, and then there's paper on either side of this that you have to, a film on either side of this that you have to peel off. Then you're going to have this right on top of it. And then there's a hole for each right over here, and holes for each of these. And then the hole over here is in a P8. So use a small screw. Just go all the way down until, just make sure your other ones are lined up good. Make sure this part of the latch is facing up. Put that there, and grab you this magnet thing is working because it's definitely holding the screw on. Just get one, get started. Get your second one, get it started. And again, just kind of get it in there, because I'm not really going to tighten it until we attach it to the other side of the piano. Yeah, I'm not, again, not, and I don't know if these is even tightened down too much. So, but we will see. And it also mentions that you can also throw in some glue on the other side in case the P1, the I1 just happens to be there's any gaps or anything, which I don't see any. So now the hard part is we need to attach we need to bend these, and we need to attach, again, try not to touch but I need to attach these. That I may have to start a couple here. Okay. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to screw it all the way down until it feels tight. And of course, the hand tight, I wouldn't go too tight with them. Just a little hand tight. Okay. So you need to make sure that you glue the side that's actually attracting to the one, because if not, then the lid will never close. So you definitely want to make sure that the magnet, whatever side that you put on, that the other side matches it to attract it. So it talks about opening and closing this just to make sure the 8 screws don't come off or anything like that. And then again, just make sure you glue the side of the magnet that's attracting the other one. Okay. So, and then put it down into here. I'm gonna glue down into here. Just gonna push it down. You may not need to glue it. It's actually in there pretty good. And then when you close it, seals. Then you got a little tab right here that you can pull on to open it. So we are going to do our F3. Actually, F3 and then F2 are going to go into there. However, I'm going to grab two F4s and flat. They're going to go into here, go into there, and then these are going to go into there. Okay. So those are there, and then grab F5. Put that right on the front. Like so. And then on the back, you got two F6s, which I want to have it like that, where the tabs facing to the left and down. Put one in. And do another. Okay. Alright, so should have those on like that, and then that like that. You want to grab your D14 with your holes in the back, and then put this down on it. Should be kind of leaning, not perfectly straight, just kind of leaning up. And then get your piano out, and then just put this right on top of here. Press it down. And then the last thing is just gluing this. Once you close your lid, then just gluing this just somewhere here. So I'm just going to line it up perfectly center with this right here as best I can. Just kind of line it up. Okay. Looks centered to me. And again, I'm not going past the ledge of this right here. And then there you go. Hi everyone, welcome back. So now we're going to do our final review of our chord movement wooden model, which is kind of cool. It was definitely something different I hadn't done before. So I wanted to just go around and just show you what the outside looks like. You got the feet and the decorative stuff, and then this is one I didn't have to stain. It already came this way, so kind of saved me a little bit of time. So going around it, had a little accordion back to it, and there's more decorative sides. And there's the top, which looks kind of cool. The bottom just has the battery pack sticking out the back of it. So the cool feature is you can lift this up, and has a little arm to hold the top on, and you can look through there. And I'm going to turn this on. So one of the cool features with this is it plays music, or it plays notes, and it actually, the gears inside actually move. Now I've had other wooden model musical instruments, and they actually, you wound them up, and they actually played a song, and they had some motion to them. Where this one, it doesn't play a song. You just hit the keys, and it And you see, I'm trying to see the gears inside. You can see the gears moving every time it plays a note. But since I don't know how to play piano, I can't really play you a song or anything. I can just hit, all I can do is just hit the notes and just, show you kind of what it does. And then I'm just going to lay this down. It has a magnet to hold that together. Maybe you can see the gears a little better. So this was, a little interesting. Not what I was expecting, but everything seems to work the way it should. So I hope you enjoyed it. I did. And with that, we'll see you next episode.